Okay, I have a question, and I'll go for it. Which is customer experience do you remember the most? Uh, when it comes to sales and customer representative, you meet so many customers, and I happened to meet one customer who delighted me so much. And after having a talk and after discussion, uh, he gave me a good target, and I hit the target, and I was very, 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 very happy because it was my first time, and it was my first time, and I was so very happy to hit that target because in terms of sales, I was the first. It was my first time to do a sales, and I was so impressed.
Nice. Please read the question again. I can't remember.
Okay.
It says which?
This question goes by say, which customer experience do you remember the most?
Okay. All right. So for you, it was because of the target.
The hard thing, the hard. I was not expecting something like that. I was expecting to tell me to come tomorrow, but eventually on that day he told me, bring the document, let me sign. I need this and
Here's
this and
your
this.
order.
Yeah, it was just a pub.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the customer engagement rights remember the most. I think for me, it's an instance where I had a very difficult customer, and why it's memorable, it's the aspect of calming down that very difficult customer. And I think even as we progress with these questions, we'll get to understand what is the definition of a difficult customer. Because there is actually a thing like a difficult customer, right? So just for me, it was the moment where the customer was, a bit agitated, and so just the idea of calming them down, and by the end of the interactions, they were happy, they were quite impressed. Yeah, and I think that for me was quite memorable. Yeah.
Okay, so it's my turn. So my most memorable customer experience, actually it was very recent. We all know that we've run out, we are out of stock for 50-inch.
Yeah.
So I had two customers that I had promised that they'll get the 50-inch, and one was traveling from Somalia. So he came straight from the airport to go to the warehouse. But unfortunately, before he got there, someone had just bought the last piece. So I remember I had to go to Umesh's office and ask him to get the 50-inch from one of our dealers. Actually, it was two customers. And he made sure that we got two pieces from one of our dealers, and the customer was able to come back the next day. He was really annoyed. He went home annoyed, but I made sure he got what he wanted. So he came back the next day and got the 50-inch.
Yeah.
I had two customers actually. One was had walked into the warehouse straight from the airport, and one was an online customer. So I made arrangements with Umesh to get the two pieces, and we were able to satisfy those customers, and they finally got the two pieces. So I think that's the most recent customer experience that I can recall.
Okay, nice.
There is two guys, young couple, I would say. They came to the office. It was on a Saturday, so well. They were interested in portable audios. So their thing was just to experience, to get to know our products. They didn't come to buy. So as I was taking them through the range of Vibe series, we started having a conversation, and they were more interested into like how can they use the beatbox in their daily lives. So we started having a question of, okay, so this thing, if I'm getting it, apart from the Friday nights and the just hangouts, what else can we use this for? So the lady was like, okay, this is a nice thing that I can use when she does marketing. I can use like in my business. So we discussed more about the same, and at the end of the day, they bought 4. Yeah. So
4
it
big
was-
boxes.
Yeah. It was so nice, and I just enjoyed.
Okay. Nice. Okay, so I guess it's my turn to pick the second question. Oh, wow. Okay. What is the most ambiguous question asked by a customer? Oh, wow. Okay. So in our line of work, and line of work I mean everybody who interacts with customers, we definitely get a lot of questions. Some related to the brand, some very unrelated. Ambiguous, I would say, is questions. I don't have one in particular, but definitely moments where customers confuse our brand, number one, with what another brand offers. So I will not say the name of the brand, but there's a customer who came up to me and asked me, where can I get this brand of TV? And then I was taken aback because I was like, for you to come to a social media page, you must definitely see that it's Vision Plus, right?
Yes.
But they called us a name that is very similar to actually one of our competitors in the industry. So they're like, where can I get this? And they kept going on and on and on, yeah? So that was very ambiguous in the sense that how do you tell this customer in a nice way that this is not the brand, and also convince them to actually buy your product, right? Vision Plus. So it's like they came there asking specifically for the competitor brand. So there are like a couple of tasks there for you to do. So it's like, number one, tell them this is not the brand. Number two, convince them to actually buy your product. So it was very, I would say not, I don't know if that qualifies for ambiguous, but it's definitely one of those very odd occurrences that we have. I don't know if you guys have ever had a
Okay.
very,
When I understand about that word, what comes into my mind is doubt. And sometimes in our field, when we are doing a survey and selling, sometimes you get a customer who doubts you. Do you work at Vision Plus? If I place this order, am I going to get it? Sometimes we find those questions coming onto us, and being in sales, you have to explain everything.
Yes.
You have to explain who are you and what you are doing, and you have to give to remove that doubt to the customer. That's what I understand with that, and I have encountered so many, and after working with them a long journey, they come and then they trust you.
Oh, okay.
That is what I can refer that one is.
Okay. You guys?
Okay, for me, mine is quite recent actually. I was having a conversation with a client on the phone, and then he asked me if I've watched a certain movie. So for me, that was very, I felt like that was very out of place considering the conversation I was having with him. So yeah, I haven't watched it. I haven't had time to watch movies lately. So I just said no, I haven't watched it, but I'll make a point of watching it.
Did you want to take you out to see?
I don't think he wanted to take me out. He just wanted to have a conversation. Sometimes you talk to people, it's like they've not had conversations in a long time. So if they feel like you're welcoming that opportunity to have a conversation, so you can go and go. So it's for you to know when to stop it, because you definitely have other things to do.
Yeah, but it's also nice. I like what you just to add on to what you've said.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are customers who would call you. Of course, not knowing that you're on a job and there are other things that you need to do. But I think also just the etiquette, I think of customer service, and also like what we are trained to do as as customer service or customer experience people, is never make that customer feel like you don't have their time, like you have other better things to do So I mean, just converse with them, but also we have those ones that ask, those very unrelated questions. So it's just finding a balance, like where do we drift them to bring them back to the point? Can we assist you in purchasing a product? Can we assist you in a repair issue? You keep trying to bring them back. Yeah.
You see, talking of the same, there's this guy who came to the office, yeah, and he actually didn't want to buy any product.
Yeah.
He was just there for, say, an advice. So he was talking of how he has built like a bungalow, and yeah. So he wanted an advice of how he's going to do his sound system in the house and in each room. So yeah, like he kept on asking and going, like bringing up conversations that
a little bit unrelated.
I just didn't have answers to them.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is with such customers, it's the aspect of making them feel important that matters to them. You might not have the correct answer. Like, for example, if they ask you, how do I redecorate my room, or how do I put audio in my, connect audio to my entire house, you might not have the exact answer because you're not a professional in that sense. But the way you talk to them, the way you laugh, the way you relate to their stories, they will leave that place feeling very important, that actually somebody from Vision Plus gave me their time. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically how I feel. Like, always leaving a customer with a good taste in their mouth. Like, so should he ever find a solution, Vision Plus would be the first place he comes to purchase now a product. Yeah.
That one I can add on that, because always you yourself, when you are going to buy something, you are a customer. You expect to get good thing.
True.
You expect to, so you have so many questions.
Yeah.
And the one who's selling at you, he always knows you are the king. So he always be ready for the question that comes in.
Yeah.
So it's better to have that relax, and then you listen to them. One thing is just to listen to them. That question, you can phrase it in another way, and then you can get a good answer, and the customer will get comfortable.
Yeah. All right, I think it's you next.
My question is, if one thing was to remain the same about Vision Plus, what would it be? So, for me, it's the culture. Honestly, I've never worked in a place where we have so many staff lunches. So, I feel like if the culture could remain the same, there's a lot of togetherness, and for me, I think that the culture is what should remain the same, and also the vision to be Africa's #1 brand. Yes. So those two things: the culture and the vision and mission of Vision Plus.
Talking of culture, if there is anything that I will love, or I'm just excited to see, like it progresses, is the freedom of expression in the company. How the team members approach even the MD, how the team members approach each other. It's just fantastic. It's awesome. Yeah.
Okay. If there was one thing that was to remain the same, I would say I would add on to what you guys are saying in terms of the culture. For me, I'm very big, and it's one of the things I've even talked about in my LinkedIn space. It's brand culture. It's very important because we can only do what we can only portray to our customers who we are internally. It's like how in your household you can't go and preach. It's almost like preaching water and drinking wine, right? Yeah. So I like the aspect of we are also, the freedom of expression comes out, as you've said, is the aspect of freedom of expression. It comes out when we're also conversing with our customers. You are able to tell the customer and make the customer feel like you know what you're saying, right? The freedom of expression is, if any time you had any question, you're never made to feel like your question is it's less important or silly in that way, right?
Yeah.
So it's always the opportunity to ask even the any question you might have, basically, without the next person judging you. Like, why don't you know this? How is it that you've been in the company for this long, you don't know this? And also the culture, for sure. As Paulina said, I know team members, this is one of the things, how do you drink with your MD? How do you drink with your bosses, right? I mean, we've just started this and we've started drinking. It was not even 12, guys. So it's one of the things that really comes out. I also like the aspect that we are such a young team. Young in, maybe not in age, but young in spirit, right? Even age, yeah, age and spirit. So we get to really, it's easy to interact with your fellow members within the age group. So you share ideas, and you share, experiences even away from work. I know there's times where when we have lunch, we talk about different things away from work, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good experience.
Yeah. Mine is just a big. I can just say so many things concerning about it, because I've never been somewhere like where I am right now as a family. The company is very well. You approaching your boss and telling him what you want and how he's going to do it is very good. It's very good in a manner that you feel like remaining the way you are and to continue in that position. The other thing, from top, from the brand up to juniors, everything is going very well. And I don't, even outside there, people say, vision remain there. Vision plus that remain there. Because when it remains there, it's going to feel far. You see, you feel good because that brand is not somehow bringing some question on you. Yeah. And you feel that thing is where you want to be, because you have a family and a working team. Yeah. When we come into working team, from junior to seniors, we flow very well. I can want that thing to remain forever, because for some years I can see Vision Plus going very far.
Amen to that. Yeah, I think Terence, it's your turn.
It's my turn. Oh my God. This is exciting. What is the most rewarding feedback you have ever received?
From a customer or anybody? I'm guessing it's from a customer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is this feedback that I've ever received? Okay. Same couples that I was talking about. So to them, because they were not, they didn't come to buy, but by the virtue that we talked and we just conversed, actually we even danced for a while. So they were so happy, and like the expression, the way they were living, the way they left, it was amazing to me. They are, what do I say? Like, the way they were happy and just amazing. So it was great. Yeah. And that is something that like I valued so much.
Okay. That's nice.
For most rewarding feedback. Okay. For me, the most rewarding feedback actually is we are currently conducting a customer survey. So I can say since I joined Vision Plus, which has been 4 months now, the comments, I usually handle social media, and the comments and the feedback that we are getting from our customers and people who follow us on social media is so far the best. I haven't experienced or seen any that is better than this time. So we are getting comments like Vision Plus is the best. I have bought a 55-inch and it's wonderful. I can't wait to come and get the 43-inch. So for me, I feel like this is the point where I have received the most rewarding feedback when it comes to our brand. Yeah.
Okay. my experience was, I just had to think about it first because there's this customer who approached me. It's actually a friend of a friend of a friend. So they called me. They were interested because I have our product in my house. So I think they were told by a relative about our TV. So he called me and he's like, I need a 55-inch, but I don't have the money now. I remember us speaking on the phone, and it was actually past working hours. They called me at around 6:30, 7. I'd left the office already. I was on my way home. So they called me. They're like, I'm interested in this product, but I do not have the money now. My children have just closed school. They need some sort of entertainment. So it was a conversation of, you can't even imagine how the conversation drifted. We now started talking about the struggles of parenting. We started talking about finances and stuff because they were telling me, they're having a difficult time now purchasing a product. Okay. So of course I offered them the option of Aspira. I told them, we have this thing called Aspira, but it's like, I've tried those platforms before. My credit score, or rather I'm always rejected. Yeah. So I've never had such a sincere conversation with a customer. They were actually telling me everything about their finances, right? Okay. So they told me, I'm having a very difficult time, and I don't know what to do to my children because, it's this time where they close school. They're getting very agitated. They don't have entertainment. So I told them, what? We ended up having a conversation of finances and smart saving. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, I told them, you might not have the money now. The only option that we have currently is Aspira, unfortunately, right? But as we grow, start saving. When you get there, we can sit on the table and we can discuss the next step forward. Mm-hmm. He's like, by the time you come back, my kids would have gone to school. I said, no, but they'll close school again. Mm-hmm. There's a long-term solution, right? Yeah. So there are some conversations that we had during that moment about finances that they didn't know. We talked about it and they were very, very, very grateful. Also just the aspect of giving them time. It's not in my power. It's not my forte to speak about finances. Yeah. But just the aspect that we talked about finances. Mm-hmm. They're a parent. I'm a parent. We started talking about how kids love TV, cartoons, a whole lot of conversation away from Vision Plus product. But at the end of the day, they felt very nice and they told me, they assured me, when I get that money, there's no other brand I'm buying other than Vision Plus because of the service and the team. I mean, the service that you offered me. Yeah. Nobody else would give me that time to start advising me about finances. Yeah, so that was beautiful.
I think you can phrase that word again. Is feedback a good feedback or bad feedback?
Rewarding, the
most rewarding. Yeah. Yes. Wow. That was it happened to me. I met a customer after chat. Yeah. And are you Michael Vision Plus? I told him yes. I'm Michael. I need a 55-inch. And I told him, who told you I work with Vision? Somebody told me, referred me to you. And then we met, and then I took him to our customer. When I explained that about that 55, which was Vida, when I explained this, so this is the best thing. This is the best. You are doing great things. I felt like I'm in a home, and then the owner recommended. They are the best people. Yeah. After that, when we were testing that thing, another customer came because the customer we are dealing with is a wholesaler. Okay. Another client came in, which is a dealer, and he wanted some to start a business. And he was recommended to me by the owner of the TV. Okay. I felt that is a like good recommendation. And I felt, I'm doing great, man. Yeah. You see, when you come into this TV that we come into Vida, and this cartoon is free internet, and he told me I have internet all the way. I don't have to go to purchase a flash and put cartoon. They will enjoy. And I said, this thing is the best. Yeah. Okay. The best. I felt even that day I bought myself a lunch. I had a lunch. I said, I'm a great salesman. I got a heavy lunch. I treated myself very well. And I felt like I want to stay in this company forever because when you get a feedback, you feel motivated and you feel motivation. You still want to go far. Yes, you want to see more. Yeah. When you come to me in terms of visuals, I am so detailed in visual TVs.
Okay.
When a brand comes, I want to know more about it.
Okay.
So when I explained it, and you know more, and I didn't call it like abuse. He told me, you must know more, and I said it's okay. It's a recommendation, and I was very impressed, and that was very feedback I got.
Good job.
But talking also about feedback, what about the negative feedback that you've ever got?
Negative feedback.
Yes.
So, I like what our MD usually says. The moment we say that we are a perfect brand, or rather the moment we say that we are perfect, that's the time we start failing, right? Because in our industry, it's almost like saying we've reached the epitome of technology and innovation, which I don't think there's anything like that. There's never, nobody knows where technology will you know. So I would say that yes, we've received. I wouldn't call it negative. I'll call it constructive criticism, in the sense of we receive a lot of customers telling us, you guys need to introduce this in your TVs. You guys need to do this on your audio. You guys need to, we need bigger sound. We need, this and this, right? All that, and I think even Paulina's talked about us doing a customer survey right now. All that feedback, it's both the good and the bad, because we want to merge them all in one bowl and say, let's get the constructive criticism. Let's see how we can work on it. Of course, it will not do it in 2 months or 1 month. Some will incorporate immediately, others maybe a year or two. Yeah, so those ones are definitely there. If you're a brand in Kenya, for sure.
Yeah, you have to encounter those challenges.
You have to encounter those, for sure.
You have to encounter. And it depends how you're going to phrase them and how you're going to answer that question.
Yeah.
Because in every sales and in every brand, you have so many challenges and you get a bad feedback, because we have about 30 brands down in the market. Some of them they pretend to be superior, some of them they pretend to be low. But how you phrase their question concerning your brand is how they are going to pick it.
True.
Because their outside customer want to listen. What they listen is what they take it.
True.
So in that challenges comes, and then you phrase it. And when you phrase it, you are good to go.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Explain your no, because you're
Well,
sorry to cut you short. Maybe we should let's define what we mean by right and what do we mean by wrong in the sense of customer service. What would you say constitutes a right customer? Who is a right customer?
well, for me, I think 95% of the time, the customer is right. And by the customer being right means like they have received what they deserve to receive from us. If you've purchased a TV today and we've said we'll deliver it in 24 hours, it should be delivered in 24 hours. So as long as we are the ones who said it's going to be delivered in 24 hours, that is what it should be. Okay. So I feel like as long as they have received what they expect to receive, that is why the customer is always right. Because when you pay for a service, there's what you expect and you should receive that.
Yeah.
So my no is, lately I experienced a customer who came to, it was actually Chebet's customer. So it's the way he carried himself was not appropriate on my side. And I don't feel like if somebody is becoming disrespectful now, is right. What I'm supposed to maintain my cool, of which I did.
You did, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And so in such cases, you feel like somebody is really trying to mess with you.
So that is the part that you.
Yeah, that's the part. Consider. That's the part I feel like, depending on how somebody is carrying themselves, then sometimes they might not be right.
Yeah. Okay. So just to agree also to some extent to what you're saying is, what we say when we say the customer is always right, right? And this is like the rule of thumb. So when I was working in agency, we used to have a big board at the entrance of our door, right? So it used to read that in very big caps, the customer is always right. And then there's a small text there that says, only outside this office. And that made a lot of sense because internally we are allowed to rant about the difficult customer experiences that we've had. Yeah, you're able to say, there's this customer who did this, and then we're human. Everybody should be able to talk about the bad experiences that they have, right? But when you walk out that door and you go meet the customers and everything, the customer is always right. Yeah. So for me, I think I would say yes, in the sense that I try to put myself in the shoe of a consumer, not me as a member working for the brand, right?
Yeah.
If I was to go somewhere and I'm not fulfilled by a service, I will definitely rant, and I will definitely be sad and angry and agitated, right?
Yeah.
The aspect of it is my feelings are validated, or rather they are true at that moment, right? Now, how the other person, now the customer service at the other end, how they perceive it has nothing to do with me. You understand?
Yeah.
So the same way as we say, when the customer comes to the office, when they're feeling agitated, that is them feeling because of a negative experience they've had with a brand.
Yeah.
So not to look at it in the sense of how you take it, it's how the customer is feeling at that particular moment. Yeah. So the validation comes when, the customer is agitated, they're not feeling right, their feelings are valid at that moment. So it's just how you as the customer service representative works it out, or you as, the marketer or the sales representative works it out for them to be able to come down. So for me, that is where the customer's feelings are always valid, because I've been a customer more than once, and there are moments I'm not always happy. So my feelings should be also validated at that time.
It's talking of the same, like their experiences, what they are going through at that moment.
Yeah.
It's true, they are going through that.
Yeah.
And it's actually the essence of why this desk is called customer service.
Yes, servicing the customer.
Yeah, we are servicing him or her.
Yeah.
So to whatever that they're experiencing, it's up to us to consume it with them and actually even to at some point help them out.
Yes, true. Yeah.
When I come to that question of no, I differ with you. Because when you come into customer, when you're in a business, customer is always right.
Yeah.
Regardless how he is going to come, regardless of whatever he has told you, because remember you are selling a product.
Yeah.
Remember you are in a business. And a customer, to retain a customer, you have to understand him or her. You want to understand his emotions. So to maintain in that sales or to maintain in that thing, regardless he have done you anything, he's always right.
Yeah.
You are the one you are supposed to plan yourself and go back and you say, yes, he has done that way, but you are not supposed to show him directly.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Yeah. That's what I'm telling you.
You actually handled it.
Because
I like that you
you're in a
handled
business, you're in an exchange of money.
Yeah.
For instance, you treat a customer and you say, you're not right, you are not doing this, you're going to lose customers.
Yes, true. Yeah.
And sometimes customer knows they're right. And that's why they believe
they're
they
right.
believe, even
Yes.
you yourself, you believe in.
Yeah.
So sometimes you see, you have to cool yourself down, listen to him, and you're going to phrase it the way you
Yeah. True.
That is.
No. Okay.
On that, I'm going to comment on that, on favorite customer. All customers in the level that you are selling, whatever you're selling, they're in the same level, right? But in situation differs. Because you cannot tell me a customer buying one piece and a customer buying 100 pieces. They are not the same. All they are your customers. You can't favorite one of them. So all they are level. Well, but when it comes to differ in terms of payment, in terms of gradually buying, you can be able to evaluate it on that. But you cannot evaluate in front of a customer. But you realize each and every one. It's like you have children. You cannot detail this one is good, this one is bad.
Yeah.
When you do that, you're going to break a family. But when you realize them very well, nobody is bigger, nobody is gooder, or nobody is scared. You have to levelize them well. Yeah.
Difficult customer. I will not say any customer is difficult because as a customer service representative, you have to be like as we had discussed earlier. You have to put yourself in their shoes. You have to embrace their experiences, their day or whatever they're going through. So I'll not say there's such a thing as a difficult customer.
I've said yes because let's admit it, people are different. But the way you respond to the customer will solve the solution. But to be honest, we have levels. We have sunshine customers, and we have customers that are usually just normal. So it's good to admit that people are different, and sometimes you'll experience some difficulty. But at the end of the day, we help all.
The reason why I picked is the aspect of a difficult customer is not. It's in your perception. Is your perception as the either the sales representative or the customer representative is not the customer that is difficult. Is how you've perceived what it is they're saying and how they're reacting. It's in your interpretation of their feelings that makes them difficult. Because the same customer can go to different companies with the same personality. Another company will perceive them as being very agitated and they want to help them. You'll make them. They'll make you feel like they're difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.